speak softly when everyone else shouts. To respond means to be in harmony with yourself, not at the mercy of your emotions. When something happens today that challenges you, observe what arises inside. Feel the rush of anger, the spark of irritation, or the wave of fear. Don't suppress it. Simply watch it. In that moment of awareness, you are no longer your emotion, you are the one who sees it. And when you see it, you have already created space. That space is power, the space where choice lives. From that place, you can choose a response aligned with peace and purpose instead of being dragged by impulse. Life will constantly present you with tests disguised as people and circumstances. Every time you react, you give your power away. But every time you respond with awareness, you reclaim it. You begin to understand that your peace is not something fragile that the world can break. It is something rooted deep within you. To respond means to protect that peace, to act from your higher self instead of your emotional self. Imagine living a day where nothing and no one can disturb your calm. You move through conversations with clarity, handle challenges with composure, and leave others wondering how you stay so unshaken. That's not luck. That's self-mastery. That's what happens when you make the choice each morning to respond, not react. So when you wake up and say those words, let them guide your every interaction. Let them remind you that strength is not in shouting louder, but in remaining stiller. True power is quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply chooses peace over pride, wisdom over impulse, presence over chaos. Each day will bring noise, and people will test the silence you've built within. But if you remember this truth, that you are the master of your responses, you will move through life untouched by the storms of others. Breathe, pause, and respond. Because in that pause lies your power, your peace, and your freedom. Number 3, I am not my past. I am what I choose to become. There comes a moment when you must look at your reflection and realize you are not the same person you once were. The past is a shadow, and shadows have no substance unless you turn toward them. Yet most people live haunted by their own memories, chained to mistakes, regrets, and what-ifs. They keep replaying the same stories in their minds, wondering why their lives never change. But life does not happen backward. The present moment is your clean page, and each breath you take writes a new beginning. When you whisper to yourself, "I am not my past. I am what I choose to become," you remind your spirit that your identity is not carved in stone. It is shaped by choice, by awareness, by intention. Your past was never meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. Every wound, every failure, every heartbreak, all of it was preparation. Yet, how often do you carry it like a burden instead of wisdom? The mind loves to build cages from memories, whispering that you are still that person who fell, who lost, who was betrayed. But the truth is, the moment you decide to stop identifying with your old self, the prison door swings open. Freedom begins when you stop arguing for your limitations. Imagine a snake shedding its skin. It does not cling to the old layer or mourn what it has outgrown. It simply releases and moves forward, because the new version of itself cannot exist while the old one remains. You are no different. If you wish to rise, you must shed what you once were. The version of you that made mistakes cannot follow you into the future you are building. You are not here to repeat your history. You are here to transform it. There are people who will try to remind you of your past, not out of cruelty, but because they are still trapped in theirs. Do not let their vision limit yours. When you start to change, you will feel resistance from others and from your own mind. The familiar is comfortable even when it hurts. But the path of growth demands that you leave the familiar behind. You cannot walk toward light while clinging to the shadows of yesterday. Each morning when you wake up, remind yourself, I have the power to choose again. You can choose patience where you once chose anger. You can choose courage where you once chose fear. You can choose silence where you once chose noise. You are not a prisoner of yesterday's patterns. You are the architect of tomorrow's self. every sunrise gives you a chance to become someone new. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. Do not fear the past. Face it, thank it, and release it. Every experience you've lived has given you wisdom, resilience, and strength. Nothing was wasted. The failures shaped your humility. The heartbreaks taught you compassion. The losses carved space for gratitude. But their purpose is complete. You are no longer meant to live in those chapters. You are meant to write new ones. When you say, "I am not my past," feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Feel the space open within you, the space where creation begins. You are not defined by what you have done, but by what you decide to do next. The future does not remember your pain, it waits for your power. So walk forward without looking back. Let every step be a declaration of rebirth. Let every choice you make today come from who you wish to become, not who you used to be. Because you are not the mistakes you've made, nor the person others believe you are. You are the consciousness that chooses again and again to rise, to evolve, to begin. Your past is a lesson. Your present is a decision. Your future is your creation. And in this moment, you have the power to become anything you decide to be. Number 4. My energy is sacred. I will not waste it on what drains my soul. There is a silent truth that few ever realize until they are drained, broken, and lost. Your energy is sacred. It is the purest currency you possess, more valuable than time, more precious than money. Because wherever your energy flows, your life follows. Yet most people give it away carelessly, scattering their strength across distractions, conflicts, and meaningless pursuits. They wake up tired, not because they worked too hard, but because they gave their energy to things that did not deserve it. So when you tell yourself, "My energy is sacred, I will not waste it on what drains my soul," you are not being selfish. You are being wise. Every morning, you are given a limited amount of life force, a sacred flame. What you feed that flame determines whether it becomes light or smoke. Each worry, argument, and shallow conversation is like wind trying to blow it out. But when you protect it, nurture it, and direct it toward what uplifts you, your entire life begins to glow with clarity and purpose. You start to realize that not everything or everyone deserves access to your inner world. There are people who take from your energy simply by being around you, not because they are evil, but because they live unconsciously, feeding on the emotions and attention of others. There are habits that seem small but slowly drain you. Endless scrolling, meaningless talk, self-doubt, gossip, and overthinking. These are silent thieves. They don't take your life all at once. They take it moment by moment, thought by thought. And unless you become aware, you won't even notice that you're empty until you can't feel your own peace anymore. Protecting your energy doesn't mean you withdraw from life. It means you choose with awareness. You choose your company, your environment, and your thoughts as carefully as you would choose the food you eat or the air you breathe. Because everything you allow in either nourishes your soul or poisons it. You must learn to recognize what makes your spirit expand and what makes it contract. When you leave a conversation, do you feel lighter or heavier? When you spend time doing something, does it fill you with strength or leave you empty? These small reflections reveal what deserves your energy and what doesn't. There will always be people who misunderstand your silence, your distance, your boundaries. Let them. You are not here to explain your peace. You are here to protect it. You do not owe your presence to anyone who consistently drains it. The more you value your energy, the more life will respect it. You'll start to notice how peace attracts peace, how calm draws opportunities, and how silence invites deeper understanding. Energy moves in circles. Whatever you give, returns. So if you constantly give to what weakens you, life will mirror that weakness back to you. But if you invest your energy in growth, in love, in purpose, life will expand in the same direction. To live with awareness means to guard your energy like a sacred temple. You must know who enters, what stays, and what must be released. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every noise deserves an answer, and not every door should remain open. Wisdom is knowing that peace is more valuable than being right, and stillness is stronger than constant motion. So each morning, before the world tries to pull you in 100 directions, remind yourself, my energy is sacred. Say it slowly, feel it deeply. Let those words become your boundary, your shield, your compass. Because when your energy is pure, your mind becomes clear, your body becomes light, and your path becomes guided. Do not waste your sacred flame on those who stand in the shadows of their own chaos. Protect your peace, and your energy will protect you. In the end, the most powerful person is not the one who conquers others. It is the one who has mastered the art of guarding their own soul. Number 5. Discipline is my true freedom. Most people mistake freedom for doing whatever they want, whenever they want. They chase comfort, avoid challenge, and call it living free. But in truth, that kind of freedom is an illusion, a gentle prison disguised as pleasure. Real freedom is not found in the absence of discipline. It is born from it. When you say to yourself, discipline is my true freedom, you are declaring that your life will no longer be ruled by impulses, distractions, or moods. You are choosing mastery over chaos. Think about fire. Left wild, it destroys. But when controlled, it gives warmth, cooks food, forges steel. Discipline is that control, the force that gives direction to your inner fire. Without it, your potential burns itself out in confusion. With it, your energy becomes focused, steady, unstoppable. Every great mountain climber, artist, monk, or warrior has discovered this same truth. Freedom is not found in ease, but in the strength to do what must be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. The undisciplined mind is like a restless river, flowing everywhere, achieving nothing. It rushes toward comfort, away from effort, and ends up circling the same patterns again and again. But when you discipline your thoughts, your habits, your time, you create a channel through which your power can flow with purpose. That is where real freedom begins. Because you are no longer a slave to temptation, to emotion, or to laziness. You are guided by will. Discipline doesn't take from your life, it gives to it. It builds structure where there was chaos, direction where there was drifting, strength where there was weakness. It may feel hard in the beginning, waking early, training your body, focusing your mind, saying no to what wastes time. But with every repetition, you build inner peace. Why? Because discipline removes regret. You stop living at the mercy of guilt, procrastination, or failure. You move with clarity, knowing that every action today is shaping a stronger version of yourself tomorrow. There is deep peace in discipline. When others are lost in distraction, you know exactly where your time goes. When others are ruled by emotion, you remain steady. The disciplined mind no longer needs to chase motivation, it simply acts. You do not wait for the right feeling, you create it through action. And soon, what once required effort becomes natural, even joyful. Because you realize that discipline is not punishment, it is devotion. Devotion to your growth, your health, your craft, your purpose. Look at nature. The sun rises and sets with perfect discipline. The seasons change with unwavering rhythm. Rivers carve valleys through stone, not by power, but by persistence. The universe itself is disciplined. It moves in harmony, not chaos. Why then should your life be any different? Discipline is alignment with that natural order. It brings harmony between what you desire and what you do. So, when you wake each morning and whisper, "Discipline is my true freedom," let it sink into your bones. Let it remind you that self-control is not a cage. It is the key that unlocks your highest potential. Every time you say no to distraction, you say yes to purpose. Every time you choose focus over comfort, you rise above your old self. That is the essence of freedom. To no longer be ruled by weakness, but to command your own will. Do not seek a life that is easy. Seek a life that is free. And remember, freedom without discipline is chaos, but discipline with purpose becomes peace. Walk the path of discipline, and you will discover that the greatest liberty of all is being the master of yourself. Number 6. I am calm even in chaos. There are moments when life feels like a storm, when everything moves too fast, when people shout louder than they listen, when plans crumble and emotions rise like waves in a violent sea. In those moments, you have two choices: to be swept away or to become the stillness within the storm. When you whisper to yourself, I am calm, even in chaos, you're not denying the storm. You're remembering that you are the ocean beneath it, vast, deep, and unshaken. Calmness is not weakness. It is strength in its highest form. Anyone can be peaceful when life is gentle, but true mastery is remaining centered when the world trembles. It's easy to be calm when everything goes your way, but life will not always align with your expectations. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will test you. The unexpected will arrive without warning. And in those moments, your peace will either protect you or abandon you, depending on how you've trained your mind. The mind loves to react. It wants to fix, control, argue, and prove. It feeds on movement and noise. But peace is found in the pause, in that sacred breath where you step back and see the situation as it is, not as your emotions paint it. Calmness is not about ignoring reality. It's about observing it without letting it own you. The storm may roar outside, but you choose whether to open the door and invite it in. When chaos arrives, close your eyes and breathe. Feel your heartbeat, slow and steady, like the drum of your existence. Remind yourself that everything outside you is temporary, but the silence within you is eternal. You cannot control the noise of the world, but you can control how deeply it enters you. That is the essence of calmness. Control without force, strength without aggression, stillness without apathy. There is immense power in silence. People often mistake calm for indifference, but calmness is awareness sharpened to perfection. When you are calm, you see clearly. Decisions come easier. Words become deliberate. Reactions turn into responses. You stop wasting energy fighting the current and instead learn to flow with it. Like a bamboo in the wind, it bends, but it never breaks. It yields, but it never loses its root. That is the way of calmness, flexible yet unshakable. You will meet situations that provoke you, people who test your patience, and challenges that ignite frustration. But if you allow every disturbance to shake your inner world, peace will always remain out of reach. The world is not meant to be calm, you are. The outside world reflects movement, but you are the mountain that stands unmoved beneath the changing sky. You do not need to fight chaos, you only need to stop feeding it. Every morning when you affirm, I am calm, even in chaos, you are training your nervous system to respond differently. You are teaching your mind that peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of awareness. You are conditioning yourself to meet life's noise with quiet strength, to meet its uncertainty with trust, and to meet its pain with patience. When you master this, you stop reacting to every wave. You start commanding your ship. You move through noise with grace, through conflict with clarity, through pain with purpose. Calmness becomes your armor, your compass, and your quiet form of power. So remember this, the world will always have storms, but you were never meant to be the storm. You were meant to be the stillness that survives it. Because when you are calm, even in chaos, no force outside of you can disturb the peace within you. And that peace is your greatest strength. Number 7. I attract peace, strength, and clarity. There is a quiet power that comes when you begin to understand that life doesn't give you what you chase, it gives you what you are. Everything you attract is a reflection of your inner state. When your mind is restless, you draw in confusion. When your heart is heavy, you draw in more chaos. But when your spirit is calm, you begin to attract peace, strength, and clarity effortlessly. So when you remind yourself each morning, I attract peace, strength, and clarity, you are not just speaking words, You are commanding your energy to align with the life you wish to create. Peace is not something you find outside yourself. It's not waiting in a quiet room or in the absence of problems. It begins in your inner world. When your mind is balanced, the noise of the world can no longer reach you. Imagine yourself standing in the middle of a storm, yet untouched by the wind. That's what inner peace feels like. It's not about avoiding chaos, but learning how to remain still while chaos dances around you. And the more peace you carry within, the more peace you bring into every space you enter. Strength is not the absence of fear or pain. It's the decision to keep moving through it. When you cultivate strength within, you stop needing external validation. You stop relying on temporary motivation. Strength is born in silence. When you continue to rise, even when no one is watching, even when the weight feels unbearable. The world will test you again and again, but when your roots are deep, storms can only bend you. They cannot break you. Clarity is the third gift of alignment. It comes when the noise fades, when you no longer rush or force outcomes. Clarity is not something you create through pressure. It arrives when you slow down enough to listen to your intuition. The more you align your mind and body, the clearer your decisions become. You start to see what serves you and what doesn't, what leads you toward growth and what keeps you small. When you attract clarity, confusion loses its grip, and you begin to walk your path with quiet confidence. But here is the truth. You cannot attract peace, strength, or clarity if your energy is scattered in worry, resentment, and doubt. You must create space for them to enter. Let go of arguments that steal your calm. Release habits that drain your light. Withdraw your attention from the noise that demands urgency but offers no meaning. The universe mirrors your vibration, so protect it like sacred ground. If you want peace, be peaceful. If you want strength, act with discipline. If you want clarity, cultivate stillness. Life responds to who you are becoming, not who you pretend to be. Each morning, before the world rushes in, sit with yourself. Breathe slowly. Feel your heartbeat returning to rhythm. Whisper the words, "I attract peace, strength, and clarity." Feel them not as wishes, but as truths already forming around you. With every inhale, you draw in serenity. With every exhale, you release what no longer serves you. You begin to realize that everything you need already lives within you. It only requires your awareness to awaken it. Soon, you will notice the world shifting. The same challenges that once overwhelmed you will no longer disturb your balance. You'll find yourself meeting difficulties with patience, handling people with understanding, and seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Because your energy will speak louder than your words, and your presence will begin to influence the spaces you walk into. Remember this, the world is not against you. It's responding to you. And when your heart radiates peace, when your spirit stands in strength, when your mind shines with clarity, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back. So walk through your day with this truth anchored in your soul. I attract peace, strength, and clarity. Because what you are inside becomes the reality you live outside. And once you master your inner energy, life itself begins to move in harmony with you. Number 8. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. There is no peace in comparison. The moment you begin to measure your worth against another person's path, you lose connection to your own. You stop seeing how far you've come, and instead, you start to see only how far you think you should be. But life is not a race. It's not a competition. It's a sacred unfolding, unique, personal, and perfectly timed for you. When you wake up and remind yourself, I will not compare my journey to anyone else's, you free your heart from one of the most silent and dangerous traps of the modern world. Every soul moves through life at its own rhythm. Some bloom early like flowers in spring, radiant and seen. Others take longer, waiting through storms and darkness before finally opening when the world least expects it. Your timing is your truth. Your rhythm is your wisdom. Just because someone is ahead on their path does not mean you are behind. It means your mountain is different. It means your lessons require a different climb. Comparison blinds you. It makes you forget that no two lives are shaped by the same pain, the same sacrifices, or the same dreams. You cannot compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. You do not know what it took for them to stand where they are. You do not see the sleepless nights, the doubt, the quiet tears behind their achievements. What you see is only the surface, a small glimpse of their entire story. And when you envy that surface, you reject the beauty of your own process. You must learn to honor your journey as it is. Every setback, every slow season, every silent victory, these are all sacred parts of your becoming. The bamboo tree grows underground for years before it even breaks the soil. No one sees it growing, no one applauds it, but when it finally emerges, it shoots up rapidly, strong and unshakable. That's how real growth works. It's invisible until it's undeniable. So do not despise your quiet seasons. They are the foundation of everything you are meant to rise into. When you stop comparing, something powerful happens. You begin to notice your own progress. You start to see how much you've healed, how many battles you've already survived, how many versions of yourself you've shed to stand where you are now. You stop seeking validation in others' approval and start finding it in your own peace. You begin to move not out of fear of being left behind, but out of love for becoming who you are meant to be. Understand this deeply. You and only you can walk your path. Others may walk beside you for a while, but your lessons, your timing, your growth, these belong solely to you. What's meant for you will never need you to compete for it. The universe does not make mistakes in design. Your journey was carved precisely for your soul's evolution, and every moment of doubt, every detour, every delay has purpose written into it. When you rise each morning, let this truth anchor you. Look into the mirror and say, I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Feel the weight of expectation fall from your shoulders. Breathe deeply and return to yourself. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be for your transformation to unfold. One day, someone will look at your path and think, how do they do it? They won't see the patience, the discipline, or the storms you endured in silence. But you will know. You will know that it was not comparison that carried you. It was faith in your own timing. So walk forward gently, confidently, and faithfully. Let others run if they wish. Let them shine when it's their time. Yours will come too. The sun doesn't rush to rise. It waits for the perfect moment to light the world. And so should you. Never forget this. Peace begins when comparison ends. Number 9. I am grateful for this moment, for this breath, for this chance. Pause for a moment and take a breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, the steady rhythm of life moving through you. This breath, this very moment, is a gift that will never come again. You may not notice it most days, but this is the quiet miracle you've been given. To be alive, to be aware, to be here right now. When you tell yourself, I am grateful for this moment, for this breath, for this chance, you awaken to a truth most people rush past. The truth that the present moment is not small, it is everything. Gratitude is not found in the extraordinary. It lives in the ordinary that you choose to see differently. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of your heartbeat in the silence, the strength in your legs as you rise from bed, all of these are silent blessings. Yet, when your mind is caught in what's missing, you forget how rich you already are. You chase what's next and overlook what's now. Gratitude brings you back. It grounds you in what is real. It humbles the ego and it softens the noise of wanting more. You see, life is not measured by how much you gain, but by how deeply you notice. A man can have everything and still feel empty if he's blind to the small miracles surrounding him. Another can have very little yet feel full because he sees beauty in every breath. Gratitude transforms what you have into enough and enough into abundance. It changes not your situation first, but your perception. And when perception changes, everything follows. Every morning, before the world floods your mind with noise and distraction, remind yourself, This breath is a gift. Each inhale is permission to begin again. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you. Gratitude turns the simple act of breathing into a sacred rhythm, a reminder that as long as there is air in your lungs, there is hope, there is choice, there is possibility. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you always control how you meet the moment. And gratitude is the bridge between what you can't control and the peace you can create. Even in difficulty, gratitude gives you strength. When the road feels heavy and unclear, say to yourself, I am grateful for this chance, because it means you are still alive to try again. You still have the opportunity to grow, to learn, to begin anew. The world teaches you to focus on what's missing, to count what's wrong, to crave what others have. But gratitude teaches you to see the unseen blessings already within your hands. You begin to notice how every hardship sharpened your spirit, how every delay protected your timing, how every loss made space for what was meant for you. When you live with that awareness, even the storm feels like a teacher. This is the secret power of gratitude. It doesn't just make you thankful, it makes you powerful. Because when your heart is anchored in appreciation, fear loses its grip. Anger softens, envy dissolves. You stop looking for reasons to be unhappy because you realize life has already given you 1,000 reasons to smile. Gratitude turns chaos into clarity and problems into lessons. So each morning, before you move, before you speak, just whisper, I am grateful for this moment, for this breath, for this chance. Feel those words, not as a thought, but as a vibration flowing through you. Feel how they quiet your mind and open your heart. Gratitude doesn't change your life from the outside in, it transforms it from the inside out. One day, when you look back, you'll realize that the moments you were most grateful for were not the grand victories, but the quiet mornings when you simply breathed, noticed, and smiled. Because in those moments, you were fully alive. Carry this truth with you always. The one who walks with gratitude walks in abundance. The one who honors each breath will never live in lack. And the one who sees every moment as a chance will never truly lose their way. Number 10. My value is not measured by others' opinions. There will always be voices around you, some loud, some subtle, all trying to tell you who you are. Some will praise you, lifting you high for a moment. Others will criticize you, pulling you down without mercy. But both are illusions if you let them define you. The moment you allow another person's opinion to determine your worth, you hand them the power to control your peace. When you remind yourself each morning, my value is not measured by others' opinions, you reclaim that power. You step back into yourself, into the quiet strength that cannot be touched by praise or wounded by judgment. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to live your truth, to walk your path, to express the unique energy that exists only within you. The world will not always recognize it, and that's okay. A diamond doesn't lose its worth because someone fails to see its brilliance in the dirt. The sun doesn't stop shining because clouds cover it for a while, and you too must remember. Your value does not fade just because someone else cannot see it. Too often, you shrink yourself to fit the comfort of others. You silence your voice to avoid judgment, or you overextend yourself to win approval. But every time you do that, you betray the quiet knowing inside you, the voice that says, you are already enough. When your worth depends on the opinions of others, your peace becomes fragile, constantly shifting with their moods, their perceptions, their fleeting attention. True confidence is not found in being liked. It's found in being unshakably yourself, even when misunderstood. Think about it. The greatest souls who ever walked this earth were rarely accepted in their time. They were criticized, doubted, mocked, because they chose to live by inner truth, not outer applause. They didn't seek validation. They created value from within. They knew that silence, consistency, and authenticity would speak louder than words ever could. and so should you. There is a quiet strength in knowing your own worth. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it simply exists. Like the roots of a great tree, it holds firm even when storms rage above. You may bend, you may sway, but you do not break. Because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know that the opinions of others are reflections of their inner world, not a mirror of your truth. You will meet people who admire you for the very same qualities that others criticize. You will be loved and disliked for the same reasons. So why chase approval that will always be divided? Why seek validation from those still searching for their own? When you stop measuring yourself through the eyes of others, you finally see your reflection clearly, pure, strong, and free from distortion. Tell yourself every morning, I define my own worth. Let it echo within you until it becomes unshakable. When someone doubts you, smile. Not from arrogance, but from understanding. Because you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You are not the opinions others form. You are the truth you live by. The world may judge what it sees, but it can never know the battles you fought, the pain you've endured, the courage it took to keep going. That is your real value. Silent, sacred, unseen. So walk through life grounded in your own certainty. Accept praise with humility. Face criticism with grace, but let neither define your identity. Stand tall, knowing that no voice outside you is louder than the one within. Because when you know your own worth, the noise of the world loses its power to shake you. And remember this always, the diamond does not ask for validation to shine. It simply exists as it is, brilliant, unbreakable, and whole. So too must you, calm, confident, and complete in your own light. Number 11. My value is not measured by others' opinions. There is a moment in life when you realize that no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. You could give your best effort, pour your heart into your work, or live with kindness, and still, someone will criticize, misunderstand, or judge you. It's in that moment you must remember, my value is not measured by others' opinions, because the opinions of others are not truth. They are reflections of their perspective, their conditioning, their fears, and their limitations. You are not here to live according to the noise of the crowd. You are here to listen to the quiet certainty within your own soul. When you begin to see this clearly, you stop chasing approval. You stop bending your identity just to fit into someone's expectations. You realize that no amount of external praise can give you the peace that comes from self-respect. It is not your job to please the world, it is your purpose to be authentic within it. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone, because worth is not something earned, it is something remembered. It is already within you, constant and unchanging, no matter what others perceive. Imagine a mountain. It stands silent through seasons of rain and shine, admired by some, ignored by others, yet always grounded in its being. Its value does not rise when someone praises its beauty, nor does it fall when someone fails to notice it. It simply is. You too must become like that mountain, still, strong, unshaken by the winds of opinion. Because the world will always shift, but your truth should remain unmoved. When you allow others' opinions to define your worth, you become like a leaf blown by every passing wind, restless, uncertain, never rooted. One day you feel proud because someone approves of you. The next, you feel small because someone criticizes you. But when your sense of value comes from within, you become grounded. You stop reacting to every external voice. You start living in alignment with what you know is right for you. There will always be those who misunderstand your journey. Some will see your confidence as arrogance. Some will see your silence as weakness. Some will see your light and feel threatened by it. But none of that has anything to do with who you are. Their perception is not your reality. Their opinion does not define your essence. Remember this. What they think of you belongs to them, not to you. You will find peace the day you no longer need to be seen as enough in someone else's eyes. You will find freedom the moment you stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. And you will find strength the instant you look in the mirror and realize you define your own value, not your past, not your mistakes, not the voices that try to diminish you, only you. So each morning, as you rise, whisper to yourself, "My value is not measured by others' opinions." Let it settle into your chest like a steady heartbeat. Let it protect your energy from the noise of the world. Because once you know your worth, the words of others lose their power. You no longer need to be liked to feel complete. You no longer chase validation to feel seen. You walk through life with quiet confidence anchored in your own truth. The truth is, people's opinions will fade. Their judgments will shift. Their words will be forgotten. But the relationship you build with yourself, that will last a lifetime. That is where your power lies. So stand tall, speak your truth, walk your path with calm certainty. You are not who others say you are. You are who you decide to be. And when the world grows loud with opinions, return to your silence and remember, even when unseen, even when misunderstood, even when judged, you remain valuable, whole, and complete. A diamond does not stop shining because someone doubts its worth. It shines because that's its nature. So let that be your nature too. Steady, radiant, unshakably you. Number 12. I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me. There comes a point in your journey when you must stop carrying the weight of who you used to be. The mistakes, the regrets, the words you wish you hadn't said, the chances you wish you had taken, they cling to you like invisible stones, making each step heavier than it needs to be. But life is not meant to be lived in punishment. It is meant to be lived in growth. And so, each morning, when you whisper to yourself, "I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me," you are not erasing your past. You are freeing yourself from its chains. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is understanding. It is looking at your past self with compassion instead of condemnation. You did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. You stumbled because you were learning. You fell because you were human. You made mistakes because you were alive. And that is the quiet beauty of it all. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to evolve. The wound was not the end of you, it was the beginning of your awakening. So many people hold on to guilt as if it proves something, as if suffering long enough can rewrite what has already happened. But guilt does not heal. It only repeats the pain. It keeps you stuck in a loop where you relive what you should have released. To forgive yourself is to step out of that loop. It is to say, yes, I did that. I was that. But I am no longer that person. The past cannot be undone, but its grip on you can be released. That is where your true power begins. When you carry resentment toward yourself or others, it begins to poison the present moment. Your heart tightens, your thoughts grow heavy, and you lose touch with the lightness of being. Forgiveness is the cleansing rain that washes away what no longer belongs. It doesn't mean you approve of what happened, it means you choose peace over poison. You choose freedom over suffering. You choose to stop living in yesterday and begin again, fully alive in today. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing in a river. The water flows around you, cool and alive. In your hands, you're holding stones, each one carved with old pain, regret, anger, disappointment. One by one, you drop them into the current and watch them disappear. You don't need to hold them anymore. The river knows where to take them. This is what forgiveness feels like. It's not an act of weakness. It's the greatest act of strength. Because to release what hurt you is to trust that your healing matters more than your pride. Every morning you wake is another chance to begin again. You are not bound by who you were yesterday. The world renews itself with every sunrise. And so can you. Forgiving yourself does not make you careless. It makes you whole. It allows you to learn the lesson without carrying the wound. It allows you to keep the wisdom without holding the pain. Say it gently to yourself. I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me. Let it echo within you. Feel it loosen the knots of your chest. Feel it quiet the noise of old thoughts that no longer belong. You are allowed to outgrow your past. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to let go of the version of you that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. So each morning, as you rise, whisper to yourself, "My value is not measured by others' opinions." Let it settle into your chest like a steady heartbeat. Let it protect your energy from the noise of the world. Because once you know your worth, the words of others lose their power. You no longer need to be liked to feel complete. You no longer chase validation to feel seen. You walk through life with quiet confidence, anchored in your own truth. The truth is, people's opinions will fade, their judgments will shift, their words will be forgotten, but the relationship you build with yourself, that will last a lifetime. That is where your power lies. So stand tall, speak your truth, walk your path with calm certainty. You are not who others say you are who you decide to be. And when the world grows loud with opinions, return to your silence and remember, even when unseen, even when misunderstood, even when judged, you remain valuable, whole, and complete. A diamond does not stop shining because someone doubts its worth. It shines because that's its nature. So let that be your nature too. Steady, radiant, unshakably you. Number 12. I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me. There comes a point in your journey when you must stop carrying the weight of who you used to be. The mistakes, the regrets, the words you wish you hadn't said, the chances you wish you had taken, they cling to you like invisible stones, making each step heavier than it needs to be. But life is not meant to be lived in punishment. It is meant to be lived in growth. And so, each morning, when you whisper to yourself, "I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me," you are not erasing your past. You are freeing yourself from its chains. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is understanding. It is looking at your past self with compassion instead of condemnation. You did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. You stumbled because you were learning. You fell because you were human. You made mistakes because you were alive. And that is the quiet beauty of it all. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to evolve. The wound was not the end of you. It was the beginning of your awakening. So many people hold on to guilt as if it proves something, as if suffering long enough can rewrite what has already happened. But guilt does not heal. It only repeats the pain. It keeps you stuck in a loop where you relive what you should have released. To forgive yourself is to step out of that loop. It is to say, yes, I did that, I was that, but I am no longer that person. The past cannot be undone, but its grip on you can be released. That is where your true power begins. When you carry resentment toward yourself or others, it begins to poison the present moment. Your heart tightens, your thoughts grow heavy, and you lose touch with the lightness of being. Forgiveness is the cleansing rain that washes away what no longer belongs. It doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It means you choose peace over poison. You choose freedom over suffering. You choose to stop living in yesterday and begin again, fully alive in today. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing in a river. The water flows around you, cool and alive. In your hands, you're holding stones, each one carved with old pain, regret, anger, disappointment. One by one, you drop them into the current and watch them disappear. You don't need to hold them anymore. The river knows where to take them. This is what forgiveness feels like. It's not an act of weakness, it's the greatest act of strength. Because to release what hurt you is to trust that your healing matters more than your pride. Every morning you wake is another chance to begin again. You are not bound by who you were yesterday. The world renews itself with every sunrise, and so can you. Forgiving yourself does not make you careless, it makes you whole. It allows you to learn the lesson without carrying the wound. It allows you to keep the wisdom without holding the pain. Say it gently to yourself. I forgive myself and release what no longer serves me. Let it echo within you. Feel it loosen the knots of your chest. Feel it quiet the noise of old thoughts that no longer belong. You are allowed to outgrow your past. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to let go of the version of you that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Remember this truth. You cannot rise if you are still gripping the weight of what broke you. Forgive yourself, not because you deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Not because the past disappears, but because you choose not to let it define you any longer. Let this be your vow each morning, to release, to renew, to rise lighter than before. Because when you forgive yourself, the world within you softens, the storms quiet, and for the first time, you feel what it truly means to be free. In a world that worships speed, patience has become an act of rebellion. Everyone seems to be running, rushing to achieve, to prove, to arrive somewhere they can finally rest. But the truth is, haste never brings peace. It only breeds mistakes, anxiety, and emptiness disguised as progress. When you wake each morning and tell yourself, I will move with intention, not haste, you are choosing to live differently. You are choosing depth over distraction, purpose over panic, and mastery over mindless motion. Look around you. People are moving fast, yet many are going nowhere. They chase the illusion of accomplishment, mistaking busyness for growth. But movement without meaning is motion wasted. It's like a river that floods chaotically. It rushes with force, but it destroys more than it nourishes. True power is not in rushing forward. It is in knowing why you move and where you're headed. When you move with intention, every action becomes sacred. Each step, each choice, each word carries weight because it is born from awareness, not impulse. You stop scattering your energy across 1,000 meaningless tasks and begin to pour it into what truly matters. You become deliberate with your time, your focus, and your breath. And in that stillness, life starts to align. Haste comes from fear, the fear of being left behind, the fear of not achieving enough, the fear of running out of time. But life was never meant to be a race. The flower does not bloom faster because it worries the tree beside it has already blossomed. The ocean does not rush its tides to meet the moon's call. Nature moves with perfect timing because it trusts the process. So should you. You do not need to rush to prove your worth. You only need to move with purpose, and everything meant for you will unfold at the right moment. When you slow down with intention, something powerful happens. You begin to see. You notice what you once overlooked. You hear the quiet wisdom behind every experience. You realize that many of the things you once chased were distractions pulling you away from what was real. Intention brings clarity, and clarity creates peace. Think about a martial artist in stillness before a strike. Every movement, every breath is measured. There is no panic, no haste, only presence. That stillness is not weakness, it is control. It is awareness sharpened into precision. In life, your intention must be the same. Move not because you are restless, but because your spirit commands it. Speak not to fill silence, but to deliver meaning. Act not for recognition, but for truth. It takes discipline to move this way, to pause before reacting, to think before speaking, to breathe before deciding. But this discipline is what separates those who merely exist from those who truly live. The world may see you as slow, but in truth, you are steady. And the steady always outlast the hurried. Tell yourself each morning, I will move with intention, not haste. Let that become your anchor as the world rushes around you. Move calmly, even when pressured. Move deliberately, even when others race. Because what's done in haste often needs to be done twice. But what's done with intention stands the test of time. One day you will look back and realize that your progress was not built from rushing. It was built from presence, from being fully in each step, each moment, each breath. Life does not reward speed, it rewards alignment. And when your mind, body, and spirit move together with purpose, you no longer chase your path, you become it. So move slowly if you must, but move with meaning. Let your actions carry the calm force of someone who knows exactly who they are and where they are going. Because in the end, it's not how fast you arrive that matters, it's how deeply you lived while getting there. Number 13, the world often glorifies speed. People rush to achieve, to prove, to arrive. But in the process, they forget to live. They forget that the most powerful movements in nature, the rising of the sun, the growth of a tree, the flow of a river, are never rushed. They unfold with purpose, not haste. So when you tell yourself, I will move with intention, not haste, you are reclaiming the rhythm of your soul. You are choosing depth over distraction, meaning over movement, peace over pressure. There is a sacred power in moving slowly but deliberately. The hurried mind is scattered like leaves in the wind, easily swayed, easily lost. But the intentional mind moves like the roots of an ancient tree.